best thing to do is to get an inspection if you haven't already. But if you want to get an inspection, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But in any case, your best bet is just to disclose everything you can possibly think of. Hey there, I'm John Ken. I'm the owner of NV Property Solutions LLC. In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 costs you might not be aware of when you're selling your house right here in the Reno area. So if you are considering selling your house, either with a listing agent, or I'm sorry, not a listing agent, but a real estate agent, or over an investor, or you're going to do it yourself, these are the costs that you might not be aware of. So before we get started, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and of course give the video a like and share it with all your friends. So that way, in case you have some friends or family or whatever that are thinking about selling their house and they may not have any idea what the costs are, share this video with them, because this video might be eye-opening for them. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started and jump right into the video and talk more about the 5 costs that you might not be aware of when you're selling your house right here in the Reno area. So when you do list your house with a real estate agent, chances are you might not know this, but if you have ever bought or sold a house before, you already know about this. And the first one is commissions and fees. And what I'm talking about with that is real estate agents, you have to pay both the buyer side of the buyer's agent and your agent. So generally it's about 3% on each side. So you're going to be looking at about 6% charge for agent commissions, and that's right off the top of your profit. So say if you sell your house for $100,000, there's $6,000 just gone, just because you have to worry about their fees. But also too is sometimes if you have like a broker come out and give you a BPO or a broker price opinion, they'll charge you a fee for that. I don't know. Sometimes they're generally low, but the best thing is to do is just talk to whichever real estate agent or broker or whatever you're going to go with, and if you want to do a BPO, ask them how much it's going to cost, and hopefully they'll be able to tell you right up front without giving you too much guff, or just trying to hide the cost of it. But that's, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, so you just might want to just ask what they will actually do. The next thing is marketing, and what I'm talking about with marketing is you have to let people know about your house, that you're selling it, because if you don't tell anyone, who's going to know? Except for maybe you and your family, and maybe a couple other people like your neighbors or something like that. But for the most part, no one else is really going to know you're selling your house. So that's why you have to put like a for sale by owner sign in your front yard, or if you do list it with an agent, they'll put a sign in the yard for you. And also too, they're going to put on the MLS, and it's going to get out all over everywhere. So that way more people are looking at it. But if you're doing it yourself, you're going to have to do all that. Put up on Craigslist, on Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and all these other websites and stuff like that, to try and maximize the amount of people that are going to see it. Zillow, granted, if you put it up on Zillow, sometimes they'll charge you a fee, but sometimes they won't. So it's just best to, if you're going to put on Zillow, see what it's going to cost you, and if it's within your budget, go for it. If it's not, maybe explore other options, offline options such as newspaper ads, radio classified ads. I don't know if they necessarily do them. I know years and years ago out in Fallon, they had a radio show that people would call in, and they'd have all kinds of stuff that they would try and sell. Again, I don't know if they do that anymore, but if they do, that might be another way to get some people looking at your house and stuff like that. But again, and also with the marketing too, it goes along with photos. If you have terrible photos and stuff like that, chances are no one's going to really want to look at it. But if you hire a professional photographer or something like that, and they go through and take pictures of your house, chances are you're going to have a lot more people wanting to look at your house, especially if you do your marketing correctly. If you get it wrong, no one's going to look at your house anyway, so it doesn't matter if you have the greatest photos or whatever. But if you don't do the right marketing, again, no one's going to see it. The next thing is that people might not be aware of is you having to repair or do renovations to the house. Chances are, if your house is in brand new condition, you just bought it a couple of years ago, and maybe you've gotten into foreclosure or something like that, or whatever the situation is, you're needing to sell your house. Um, in that case, if your house is brand new, chances are you don't need to have any repairs done. But if it's older and stuff like that, or maybe you've kind of let go of the maintenance a little bit, um, in any case, if you do list it with a real estate agent, 99.9% of the time they're going to ask you to fix a handful of things, just to get it onto the market with the they might not ask you to completely redo the entire house where you spending 40, 50, 60, $100,000 or more on renovations and repairs just to get the house up to code. um, but things such as like structural issues, such as foundation, or even plumbing issues, maybe even electrical problems, um, those, if you have to fix those tend to run a lot of money, especially if you have a foundation issue. A foundation issue is probably the most expensive thing you could possibly run into. However, here in the northern Nevada area, we don't really have as many foundation issues because our soil here is not what's the word I'm looking for? Not abrasive, but not eroding. Kind of, I think that might be the right word. If it's not, please comment down in the comment section below, and please correct what the word I'm actually looking for. But in any case, if say if you do need a foundation issue, or if you do have a foundation issue, chances are the real estate agent is not going to list it no matter what. Even if the house is absolutely pristine on the inside, if it has a foundation issue, they probably won't list it just because it's a huge cost, and a lot of people aren't going to want to fix have someone come in and actually fix the foundation. So just be mindful of that. Now, when you're selling it to a real estate, or not to a real estate agent, but by yourself or to a real estate investor, with a real estate investor, you won't have to worry about any of the repairs at all. Because here at NV Property Solutions, me and my team, we don't worry, or we don't care about what's wrong with the house and stuff like that. If you need to get rid of it quickly, we'll analyze it. We'll present you an offer. If you like it, great. If you don't, that's no big deal. But now, if you're going to sell it yourself, you're going to have to disclose all of the stuff that needs to be fixed. The best thing to do is to get an inspection, if you haven't already. But if you want to get an inspection, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But in any case, your best bet is just to disclose everything you can possibly think of. It has a foundation issue, or there's a leaky pipe in the basement that's flooded the basement all the way up to the stairs, and we can't get in there, to even do anything with it. That's if your basement's flooded, that's the Serve Pro type of thing, or one of these other cleanup specialists. But in any case, whatever the problem is with your house, and if you need to do repairs, if you can, do them. If you can't, disclose everything or talk to a real estate investor. The next thing is that most people aren't really aware of it is holding costs. And holding costs are the costs that you have to pay while you're holding the property. So such as like mortgage, or your utilities, any liens on the property. Say if you got a medical lien attached to the property and you're making payments, that's a holding cost. Not back taxes, but property taxes, they're holding costs, and and so on and so forth. That's all the stuff that you have to pay when you actually are living in the property or holding on to the property. And a lot of the people, they might know this, but they might not. That when you do list your house with a real estate agent, you're going to still have to keep paying all those costs, even if the house is vacant. Even if you're under contract, you still have to pay those costs, and all the way until you sign the paper saying that your property sold, and you get the cash in your hand, or the check, or whatever in your hand, and you don't have to worry about any of the holding costs from then on out. But all the way up until you do sell, then you have to worry about all the holding costs and stuff like that might be eaten into your profits, or making it harder on you, and maybe the county is getting ready to seize the property because you're 2.5 years behind on taxes or whatever. Anyway, that's kind of the gist of holding costs and stuff like that you'll have to pay. So just keep that in mind. The next thing is closing costs. And a lot of people aren't really aware of closing costs, because when they sell it with the real estate agent, the agent and everything, really all they see is at the end of the day, they see, the check that they get. They might not be aware of all the closing costs and stuff like that they've had to pay, while through the escrow process, such as attorney's fees, HOA fees, prorated property taxes, and anything else that might come up, like when you do close on a house and stuff like that, you have to pay the title company, you have to pay all their fees and stuff like that. But chances are, when you sell it with a real estate agent, you're going to split the closing costs 50-50 with whoever is buying the house. Or if your house is in not the greatest of shape, but you still need to get rid of it, and you're either selling on your own, or you're selling it to an investor, or you're just wanting to get rid of the house, or you're not having enough buyers or whatever, maybe offering an incentive such as paying the closing cost to help a buyer get into the house and stuff like that. But most of the time, actually all the time, when we buy a house at NV Property Solutions, we pay all the closing costs. The only time we don't pay something is if like something comes up, like a huge medical lien or whatever, that's on the property. But chances are we're gonna work with you, and we'll figure out exactly what we can pay, as far as like back tax. Well, I mean, we're gonna pay off the back taxes, but like the huge medical lien or whatever, or a mechanical lien or something like that that's on the house. Anyway, that's it for this video. Just to sum up real quick, in case you kind of forgot what they were, is number one is commissions and fees. You're gonna have to worry about those when you're selling your house. The marketing costs, especially if you're looking to get it out to as many people as possible. Repairs, if your house isn't in the greatest of shape, you're gonna have to worry about those, and renovations, of course. Holding costs, and then of course closing costs. And that's all 5 things that you're gonna have to worry about when you do sell your house right here in the Reno area. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please comment why you didn't get anything out of this video. And if you did enjoy this video, again, please share it with all your friends and all that. Until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, you guys stay safe and take care. All right.